Cheaper Than Dirt presents.
Thank you, Lord. Say when. My name's Colorado. I've been hunting my whole life. Guiding, outfitting, and hunting.
Where in the world?
30 years now, I've made my living outdoors.
Somewhere in the outback.
We're in Mongolia.
Hello, Argentina.
Right on the El Bicho.
Red Square, Moscow, Russia.
Howdy, Colorado. Welcome to New Zealand.
Where in the world?
I just love it so much.
I'm gonna keep on loving it if it don't kill me.
If I had it my way, I'd take the whole world hunting. A lot of the fun for me in hunting turkeys is who you're going with, the people around you. And Ron is, we call him Roadkill, that's his nickname. And we have a blast no matter where we go or what we do, but he's a lot of fun to hunt with.
No, I ain't gonna go out and try to kill a bird tonight. I ain't trying to do anything like that. You know, I'd wait on you anytime. You know, if you do your job, you know, the gun and the ammo and especially that choke tube's gonna get it done.
Well, I've known Colorado Buck over the years. I mean, you see, he's been the longest running television show there is. And I've seen him several times at the different trade shows and different consumer shows, met him several times. But really got to know him in the last few years pretty well for the great outdoorsman that he is. We went on a buffalo hunt with Jeff Sipe from Montana Rifle Company early in the year up on the Crow Indian Reservation. Successfully harvested 3 nice buffalo. And then we started talking about he should meet Scott Carlson and he should do a turkey show.
Oh, turn out the light. The party's over. Now let's go count them BBs. Good education, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good education.
I've known Colorado for about 6 years. I've watched his shows over the years. Seemed like a real genuine person, and after meeting him, I found out that was true. We've had some mutual friends over the years, and so anyway, this is the first time I've ever had the Colorado outer actually hunted with him. And to have him out here with us turkey hunting and have things go the way they went the last 2 days has just been a lot of fun, and it's been a lot of fun being around Colorado and everybody associated with the television show.
We're in western Kansas hunting with Scott Carlson. I come up here to hunt with him and tried all these new choke tubes. I love them, absolutely. A lot of you use them, and I saw the reason why. Meeting Scott and his family, meeting and getting to know the Carlsons and hunting with them and meeting their friends and hunting with those guys, that's as much or more the memory for me than the actual hunt is.
Let him off. Don't you be cussing out here. This is a public show. Got him. That is freaking beautiful, man. That's the biggest trout I ever caught.
You know, we had a great hunt here in Kansas. A lot of great preparation makes for great hunts. We got with Carlson choke tubes, got out, shot our guns, made sure the patterns were in the right spot, had the right kind of ammunition, the right blinds, all the right equipment to make for a successful hunt, and we had some great scouting to put us on to some good birds. So we're able to harvest a couple of great birds here in Kansas, and now it's off to Nebraska.
Where in the World is Colorado Buck is brought to you by CheaperThanDirt.com, Armscore USA and Rock Island Pistols, Carlson's choke tubes, the shooter's choice. Norma Ammunition, precision ammunition for the serious hunter. Worldwide Trophy Adventures, the Mule Deer Foundation, Kenetrek Boots, Wild Bill's Taxidermy, the Horseshoe Outfitters in Quebec, Canada, ACI and the Ammo and More Store in Stevensville, Montana, and the Colorado Buck Special Edition Rifle by the Montana Rifle Company. This segment brought to you by CheaperThanDirt.com, America's ultimate shooting sports discounter.
Well, you saw us harvest the birds. Now I'll tell you something. There's something better about turkeys than harvesting them. That's eating them.
You know, one thing that good hunters do, and I think it's a pleasure as far as I'm concerned, to get the opportunity to eat what you harvest. And we've taken these breasts out of these turkeys and cleaned them. Now, one thing about using the right choke and the right thing, we like to shoot a nice tight pattern. We like to head shoot the turkey. You have to break connect to get a good clean kill, good quick kill. And what that does is you end up with a breast like this, has absolutely no pellets in it. So you're not worried about breaking a tooth or something like that. If you do have a pellet, I just simply cut like that and pick it out. It's no big deal.
I clean them really good. I cut out all the membranes and cut off all the fat. And I soak them in a little salt water just for a couple hours, and I'll cut them cross grain, start cutting them up in turkey strips or turkey nuggets, and then I'll just salt and pepper and a little flour, and I deep fat fry them in a fry daddy, or I can even do it in a frying pan.
He's a turkey connoisseur, you know. I mean, he cuts them up and cooks them every kind of way you can. Well, he was kind of showing off in camp, and he did a good job. Every time that they heard we were cooking turkey, more and more people showed up. That's how good it was.
I'm gonna tell you something. It'll make you become a turkey hunter. It flat will send you to the field to get some more. Our first hunt in Nebraska, we set up on a huge field that had been cut over, getting ready for planting, and also in a good habitat area. And we were watching a group of gobblers and hens go down a pasture and up a canyon. Range this area where they're at about 950 yards. And so this one Tom is over there with that other group, but he's kind of a subservient Tom. He's not the big boy. The big boy stayed with the hens. We also had a hen right behind us, and she went ballistic. Gop, 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 gop. Boy, she just started barking. She didn't like the fact that we were maybe even close to her nesting area, or we were a boss hen and she's the boss hen. But this other Tom decided he's going to come over and check us out. So this bird gobbled and came from 1,000 yards under a fence all the way across this huge field. Bird keeps coming, comes right into us, gets about 80 yards from us, and look to the right, and out walks the hen right to the gobbler. He starts looking at her, gobbling at her, and takes off. And she goes right on past him, pays him no attention. What do? This bird starts to leave. I start cutting at him. I gobble at him. I do everything just to break his concentration. finally, he just stands there and says, I'm gonna go look for the live hen because these decoys haven't moved. He turned around and just eased right on off.
Follow all the action on Facebook at Where in the World is Colorado Buck? This segment is brought to you by Carlson's Cremator Choke Tubes, the shooter's choice.
Well, I told you about the birds that were up that canyon, and we watched them that evening. We watched them come back to roost, and we knew where they were going to roost, so we set up the next morning where we thought these birds were going to go. These birds flew down, and that boss gobbler that we talked about that was going up the canyon, boom, he comes down and follows the hens. They feed totally away from where we're set up. We thought they would come up over a little hill, through a little cut there. We had our decoy set up for that. They paid absolutely no attention to us. They just walked straight down the field. We didn't want to do a lot of calling and try to call the single tom that's following about 12 hens up. It's been a total waste of time. And all it would do is alert them to where we were and alert them to us. So we let them ease on by. They went out for the canyon, and we get set up for the evening. And that works out just perfect. We wanted to get some great footage of these birds coming in, so we built us a blind down there out of just local lumber or local trees, if you would. And we sat there, and we sat there, and we sat there, and we sat there. And finally, the birds start coming back in from the field, and they're scratching around on the hill. Then they turn around and walk away from us. And we think, where'd these birds go? A little bit later, about 6:45, the birds come back around. All of a sudden, there's our birds again, and they start feeding across the field.
How was that? We waited. Them birds went all the way out the canyon, all the way back. They were coming back into roost way behind us back here. And we just sat up this afternoon and just sat here for 3.5 hours. I'm going to tell you something. Patience kills turkeys. I learned that from my good buddy Jack. So now we have Nebraska, big boy. Really, really neat just to get out and blend in. So we built this little blind here today, and then we just got some, just to keep shadows down inside, we put some camo in the back. We had this blind here. We're back down, sitting on our little stools. One neat thing we know, there was one strutter in this entire bunch. There was 4 jakes, there was another gobbler in the back, and 4 strutters, and this one strutter. So I bet you this bird has got some really good spurs. Probably got a really good fan. I bet he has a nice beard. Now that is just a great big hook. That's a good 3.5. Might even be a little older bird. Look at the nice nice beard and got about 8-inch beard. I tell you what, it's just great to get in the great outdoors and have an adventure like we've had the last couple of days. This bird is really, really heavy. I don't know what he'll weigh, but look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Wow, thank you, Lord. What a great hunt. What a great trip. What a great job the heavy shot in the Carlson choke tube did. This little Benelli, but it just couldn't be better.
Where in the World is Colorado Buck is brought to you by CheaperThanDirt.com, Armscore USA and Rock Island Pistols, Carlson's Choke Tubes, the Shooter's Choice, Norma Ammunition, precision ammunition for the serious hunter, Worldwide Trophy Adventures, the Mule Deer Foundation, Kenetrek Boots, Wild Bill's Taxidermy, the Horseshoe Outfitters in Quebec, Canada, ACI and the Ammo and More Store in Stevensville, Montana, and the Colorado Buck Special Edition Rifle by the Montana Rifle Company. This segment brought to you by Norma Ammunition, precision ammunition for the serious hunter.
Well, looks like it's about 5:30 in the morning. We were hunting last night, and we had 9 gobblers came in, and they had 9 hens with them, and we couldn't get them to our decoys. So we're heading out this morning, and we're going to try to get set up on them, probably about 300 yards from the roost, put some decoys out, and see if we can't pull a few of those toms away from those hens. That's good. They're kind of pushing her this way as she comes. That back dom's a dominant one, and he's trying to run that dom in the front. Are you ready? Try to get him up. We put these birds through the roost last night. We set up about 200 yards from the roost, put the decoys out in the field, just did some easy calling, and we had one hen that came right into the decoys too, and that helped pull that tom in here. Yeah, we've been working on these birds for a couple of days. Every time we set up, they do something different. Last night Ron went and he had the same problems early season. These birds are henned up. They're hard to get away by themselves, and took him a couple tries and he got a really nice bird about 30 miles up the road. So it's really nice. This all worked out and kind of culminates the hunt. Great hunt here in Kansas and Nebraska.
Thanks for joining us. Please catch us somewhere new in the world next week for a brand new one. Until then, God bless every one of you, and good hunting.
Closed captioning provided by Rocky Top Outfitters. Book your hunt with Colorado today at HeyColoradoBuck.com. We'll see you on the hunt.
Did I ever show you my cowboy cat?
I know you don't like to get your boots wet. Cooked up again?
How do you cook it? Well, you gotta have a fire.
There's one for you.